Back in 2005, LEGO released a theme that was so cool, so awesome, that they had to dial it back and censor some of these sets. This is Dino Attack. Join me as we discuss a one-of-a-kind LEGO theme, and we'll do that by talking about the best set of this wave, the T1 Typhoon versus T-Rex. What I love so much about this set is it's a frickin' statement piece. This baby is huge. Here it is next to a few different sets and minifigures and things, just so that you can really understand how big it really is. Back in the day, this retailed for $70, and it came with 605 pieces. A modern LEGO Star Wars set with 371 more pieces, that's gonna cost you $250. It's more pieces, it's more expensive, but it's not as big. It does come with way more detail, which is great, but it doesn't hit the same way that this set does. Even some of the bigger LEGO Dreams sets that have over double the part count and are certainly more expensive, well, they pale in comparison to the sheer size of this beauty. I mean, just look at that difference. There's just something about a big toy like this that feels so surreal. As a child, it was the dream. Even as an adult, this feels so awesome finishing off a model of this scale. I guess the big size makes it feel more like the real thing. Speaking of the real thing, this set feels wildly militaristic. And remember, the LEGO Group doesn't do military sets. There are examples in the past where they've made something that feels a little too militaristic and they've said, nope, we're canceling that set, it's not being released. So how the heck did they make this when it feels very much like an army vehicle? How did this sneak through the cracks? How did they approve a set like this? It goes against so many standards that they've had in place for years. Other Dino Attack sets seem to take inspiration from other real-world vehicles, but others don't. I don't know, I guess the way that this was approved is that LEGO said, you know, we're gonna go for an aesthetic that dips into the real world, but we're gonna make it a little bit more over the top. We'll add some hints of like sci-fi to really differentiate it. Maybe that's how they justified the concept. But I mean, when you look at these minifigures, yeah, they really feel like they're based off military stuff. These designs are so over the top. Battle scars, edgy looking glasses, balaclavas. It's big, it's bold, but you know what? It's kind of badass. And that's how I feel about this theme. It's how I felt as a kid, it's how I feel today. It's over the top, it's silly, but there is nothing like this that LEGO has ever made before, and LEGO will never make something like this ever again. It's a beautiful, like, time capsule of the past. Dinosaurs versus big heavy machines, heck yes. Now, when I say this theme gets wacky, let me explain. The idea of this theme is that mutant dinosaurs have showed up in the year 2010. Yeah, it's based off real events, right? You remember 2010, that totally happened. Anyway, our team of 4, they gotta take these dinosaurs down. And I very much mean take them down. Look at those guns. They're gonna need these because these dinosaurs aren't just regular dinosaurs. They're mutated because they have powers. The T-Rex here, it's described as having laser vision, near invulnerability, and a mouth with a nuclear furnace inside it that can disintegrate pretty much anything. This is all from official product descriptions. These dinosaurs are overpowered. And the pterodactyl, it can shoot lightning out of its wings. You heard that right. This theme is like some sort of sugar-fueled nightmare that a LEGO employee had and said, you know what, this would be pretty cool. And it is. But there's something that's even more wild about Dino Attack. And that is that the theme received some censorship. In Europe, this theme was not called Dino Attack. It was rebranded to Dino 2010. The sets were all identical, and the guns, they were replaced with grappling hooks and cages. You wouldn't kill the dinos, you would capture them. Even the setting feels more peaceful. Instead of an apocalyptic burning city, we're in a very adventurous jungle, where all sorts of shenanigans can happen. I have heard people incorrectly state that the Dino Attack sets only came out in the US, and everywhere else in the world, it was Dino 2010. That is not true. As someone from Australia who grew up with these sets, no, we got Dino Attack. We did not get Dino 2010. Anyway, I can't think of any other LEGO theme that they had to censor, or a theme that was so heavily rebranded and things were removed like this. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, back to the set itself. It includes a few fun play features. The landing gear down below, you can pop them up or take them down, depending on what you want to do. That's always a nice touch. The back blasters can move around with a little swivel, but this isn't the only blaster that can move. No, up the front, you have this cannon that can move around a little, and with the touch of a button, it fires. And yeah, you better believe that those big rotor blades, they spin. This set has it all. The interior is rather spacious. Old LEGO sets like this, they always did an excellent job of having big interiors with a lot of space. Sometimes that space was a little bland and there wasn't much going on. You can kind of see that here, although, you know, this computer screen, I think that's enough detail. I like that. A modern LEGO set would probably give you much more to play with, they'd give you various accessories. You'd get more. It's interesting to see the difference. This set is big. You get plenty to play with. Honestly, it's a near perfect set. And I haven't even talked about the dinosaurs, because they just make it better. I like a good accurate modern dinosaur, like the ones you see in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World sets. But there's something about the over-the-top goofiness of these that's a lot better. Look at the level of detail, the colors, the printing. All of these new elements, they were exclusive to this theme. And didn't they just create the most sinister, cool-looking dinos? Wow. Oh, but the best part, the eyes on the T-Rex, you press a button and they light up. That's that laser vision we were talking about before. The light actually extends into the mouth. It's meant to light up the tongue and be that, you know, nuclear reactor that we were talking about. However, over time, these lights have got a little bit more dull. From what I've heard, you can't really replace these lights that easily. So thankfully, mine still work. This is so cool. Pit those two dinos up against this helicopter and you have a battle for the ages. This set is great, this theme is awesome, and the history behind it? Fascinating. All of that together gives you the perfect LEGO theme. Yeah, modern Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, that stuff's cool, but nowhere near as cool as this. But alright, what about the pieces in this set? Can you use them to build your own funky creations? Yes, you can. These pieces are good. We're gonna start off with that T-Rex. What about its belly? Well, it turns out, as we see from Gringat, you can take this piece and turn it into a beautiful fish, a bionicle fish. Who would have thought that the shape of this would be so perfect for this kind of creature? It's so cool to see people take highly specialized pieces that you look at and you think, well, you can't use that outside of its original context. But then you see something like this and you go, oh my gosh, this piece is amazing. And this MOC is amazing. What about these giant spiked wings from the pterodactyl? I love the way that they've been used here to create an evil throne. The very distinct appearance of this piece gives it such a villainous vibe. Without this element, the throne would look nowhere near as cool as it does. And sticking to the pterodactyl, what about its body? Well, Mitch Henry has taken this body piece, taken off the head, and replaced it with another headpiece from a different Dino Attack dino. From here, he's built his own custom limbs coming out of the body, and you got something so quirky, so cool. It's nice to know that these dinosaur pieces can link up with other Bionicle, System, Galador, whatever kind of pieces you want. The end result is something very, very special. Oh, and we'll finish with a fun fact about one of the pieces in this set. You get one of these drill pieces, and it comes in black. Typically you see this in a dark bluish grey. Well, this is one of two sets that it appears in black. It's this set and another Dino Attack set. A recolored piece that's exclusive to this theme. I like to see it. And that, everyone, is Dino Attack and Dino 2010. I hope you like this theme as much as I do. Check the links below if you want to see even more MOCs by the creators that I featured at the end of the episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy building, and bye for now. There was this old raffle that I entered back in the day to win every single one of these Dino Attack sets. And I remember being like, I don't need to buy these sets because I'm going to win the raffle. And then I never did, and I never got any of these sets as a kid. Now I can buy them with adult money.